We share a passion for traveling to national parks, state parks, theme parks, and we want to share our experience with you.
We hope you will join us as we share our travel experiences with you from national parks to theme parks. So, let's go to the park.
Woohoo!
All right.
Today we are heading to a theme park.
We are.
And if you clued into our Facebook page or Instagram page, we shared some hints. And we had we had two guesses. One was Disney from Abby.
Close.
And then one was Hollywood Studios from one of your Facebook friends.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Congratulations, guys.
Yes.
Hollywood Studios, like she said, it is at Disney theme park. So that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yes.
We have both been fairly recently, and we have been together 2 different times.
Mm-hmm.
We're big Disney nerds.
We are.
Over here. So, and with Hollywood Studios specifically, I feel like Sheree and I have 2 different points of views.
I do too. Yeah.
For that park.
I do too.
So I'm excited to learn more about what she likes versus what I like, and how it kind of meshes and conflicts.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. And this is Hollywood Studios at Disney World in Florida.
Yes.
So that's what we will be talking about today. And we are going to start out, if you've been following along with us, we're going to start out with our quiz. Mm-hmm. And today it's my turn to quiz Cheyenne. Yes. So let's see if I can trick her.
Okay.
And teach you something all at once. Okay. We're going to start out with some true or false.
Okay.
True or false? Each limo in Rock and Roller Coaster has 75 speakers.
That's a lot of speakers. So each limo holds 4 people. I think. No. I don't know. I'm going to go with false.
You are correct, but in the wrong way. I should have made it smaller. 125 speakers.
Holy cow.
So you're correct, but it was actually more than what you thought.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking it was going to be less.
Speakers in each limo car that you ride in on this ride. And it's because this ride, they want you to feel like you were at a rock concert.
And you do.
So to feel like you were at a rock concert, you need 125 speakers. That's a lot.
It's a lot of speakers. I've always known that ride is really loud.
Now you know
the music is really loud. So that makes sense. 125.
I do not ride Rock and Roller Coaster.
I do.
So can't speak to that. But yeah, I thought that was wild. True or false? There are no opening day attractions left in the park. So there are no rides left.
I think that's true.
Correct. Good job.
I think that's true.
See, I don't know that I would have gotten that one. So there were 5 attractions originally. That was the Great Movie Ride, the Studio Backlot Tour, the Magic of Disney Animation Tour, the Monster Sound Show, and Superstar Television. And none of those are left in the park.
They're not. I've rode 2 of those.
Oh, really? Cool.
The Great Movie Ride.
Oh.
And the Backlot Tour.
Cool.
I loved the Backlot Tour.
Cool. Tell us about it.
Absolutely loved it. It was, okay, I don't remember how many years ago that it was torn down. But what I remember, you got on a kind of like the Dollywood trams.
Okay.
It's kind of like a Dollywood tram, and you go through different movie scenes.
Oh, cool.
Scenes. And so one of them, it's like you're out in Utah and you're sitting on a bridge, and there's a tanker truck at the top, and it falls over because there's a giant waterfall, like it's a flash flood scene.
Yeah.
So there's a giant waterfall that comes everywhere. The tanker truck spills over, so you're getting wet. The tanker truck blows up, so you get hot.
Oh.
Super fun.
Wow.
And then you go to the next scene.
Cool.
And the next scene, I don't remember what all happened between them. That's where the Earful Tower was.
Oh.
It was back there. And then towards the end, I think when you drove past different areas where they actually did the filming and background work for stuff. Because Hollywood Studios, before it was Hollywood Studios, was MGM Studios.
Okay.
And so they actually did and like filmed stuff there.
Very cool.
So that was really cool. And
Wow.
then the Great Movie Ride was semi-recently replaced with Mickey and Minnie's Railway.
Right. I want to say it either said, I want to say 2020, 2017 or 2020. So probably 2017.
Somewhere in there.
So that surprised me that it was that recent.
Yeah,
I thought that'd been there a while.
Yeah. So that one, again, you're kind of in a little tram.
Mm-hmm.
And you start going through different movie scenes. Again, the MGM,
Okay.
Hollywood stuff.
Cool.
So you would go through different scenes. One of them was The Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
One was Gone with the Wind. All I could think of was the quote from Gone with the Wind. And then you got to a bank robbery scene. And in that scene, the bank robber came and took over your tram and drove you through the rest of the tour.
Wow.
As they were trying to escape the... So if you look in Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, there's a couple different things that point back to the Great Movie Ride.
Huh.
So it's really cool.
That is really cool.
Anyways.
Thanks for that little blast from the past.
Yeah.
See, I did not go to Disney as a child, so I didn't go to Disney until I was an adult. I guess 2018 was my first trip, and we didn't go to Hollywood Studios on that trip. So, yeah, that's really cool. I didn't imagine you remembering. I just didn't think about it. Very cool. Okay. Next question. You're doing great. True or false? The Beauty and the Beast show debuted on the same day as the movie came out. True. Isn't that way? That's so cool. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. So, Beauty and the Beast Live on Stage is a show at Hollywood Studios. It's the longest running stage show that they have, and it opened on November 22nd, 1991. And the show came out the same day that the animated film Beauty and the Beast premiered in U.S. theaters. How much does the boulder weigh at the Indiana Jones show? 75 pounds, 125 pounds, 310, or 440?
I'm going to go with the lowest and say 75 pounds.
I knew that one would get you. 440 pounds.
Ow!
Yes.
Okay, I was
That really surprised me because I thought it was a little more safe than that. You know, like if it rolled over him for real, you know, like 440 is a lot.
That's a lot to get squished with.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. I guess I thought it was an inflatable boulder out there bouncing along. I would have guessed 75 too. 440 pounds. That's crazy.
I guess that's why he's like a stunt man and we're
not. Right. He likes to live life on the edge. Okay. No, I want you to remember. How many acres does the park cover? 75, 135, 245, 179.
I'll go with the 245.
Good guess. 135.
135. Okay.
Yeah. And it is the smallest of the 5 parks. And I'm assuming it's counting the water park and that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Which doesn't
Makes
surprise
sense.
me, but it also does because 135 acres is still a lot, and I don't feel like it even feels like that much, truly.
That's interesting.
Okay. Last one, you're doing great. Whose handprints can be seen in front of the Chinese theater? Audrey Hepburn, Robin Williams, Donald Duck, all of the above.
I'm going to go with all of the above.
Correct. Good job. Whew. So you can see all of those people's handprints or signatures or whatever they chose to do in front of the Chinese theater.
More.
And more, yeah.
And more. There's a lot.
Hollywood Studios.
Right there.
There are a lot, and I've never really went and checked it out completely. I need to do that.
I'm pretty sure Judy Garland is there,
Mm-hmm.
and she did her hands and her shoe print.
Cool.
In it.
Yeah, very cool.
Pretty
Good
sure.
job. You passed the quiz.
Did I? I thought I got 3 wrong.
Okay, you
It's
got
hard.
that one wrong. No.
Yeah.
You still did great.
Good enough.
I mean, you did better than I usually do, so that's
Okay. So, park by the numbers. We're going to talk about the height requirements. So, a lot of the rides and shows, there is no height requirement. There is a handful of rides you do have to have a certain height. At 32 inches, which is that of a 3-year-old, you can ride alien swirling saucers.
That makes sense.
At 38 inches, you can ride Smuggler's Run and Slinky Dog Dash, height of a 3 or 4-year-old. 40 inches, you can ride Star Tours, Rise of the Resistance, and Tower of Terror. That's 4-year-old-ish.
That's so surprising.
Based on my kid.
Yeah.
And then at 48 inches is your Rock and Roller Coaster.
Well, still isn't that tall.
It's still not that tall. Evie is 4.5, and she is 44 inches tall. So she's tall enough to ride everything at Hollywood Studios except Rock and Roller Coaster.
Yeah. Which is great. Another reason why I love Disney is because there's so many small friend size rides.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they can ride so much.
They really
for your
can.
littles. So, I love that. Okay, so now we're going to talk about a couple of our favorites. So, our favorite restaurant and our favorite ride at Hollywood Studios. So, we're going to start with mine. And my favorite restaurant, by far, is Sci-Fi Diner. It is so much fun. I love it. They have, like, burgers and shakes, things like that, to eat. It mimics a drive-in movie where they show retro movie clips and your seat is in like a car. So really, really love it there.
Mm-hmm.
That's my fave.
That one, this is where we
differ a little
where
bit
we
here.
differ, because I've done the Sci-Fi Diner. It was okay. I didn't feel like our food was fantastic. And I am not a big sci-fi fan, so watching the different clips and things weren't necessarily a perk for me.
And see, I'm not either.
They were okay.
I'm not a sci-fi fan either.
Yeah, I didn't think you were.
But I still
But
enjoyed
it's
it.
really fun. The whole restaurant is dark. So if you look up, you don't really see the ceiling. You see
like stars.
Stars,
Yeah.
So it really does feel like a drive-in, which is really cool.
Yeah. I just thought the atmosphere was fun. And I enjoyed the food too, though. So that's definitely my favorite. I would eat there again.
I don't know if I would.
Yeah, I definitely would.
Don't know if I would. So on the flip side of this, Hollywood Studios for me doesn't have a lot of really great food, especially the sit down things for a family with small kids that want to ride all the rides. So we don't prioritize food at Hollywood Studios like we do at other parks.
Yeah.
But I really like the 50s Primetime Diner.
Mm-hmm.
And that one, it's built to look kind of like a house from the 1950s. So each area that you go in, there's different, like there's wallpaper and old TVs and real like forks and spoons on the wall and the collectible little glass ducks and chickens and very 1950s. And your waiters or waitresses are trained to treat you as if you're one of their children. So if you're eating and your elbows are on the table, they'll walk by and tell you to get your elbows off the table.
Yeah.
Or you get a sticker if you eat all your food off your plate. So it's a little interactive for me as an adult and for the Evie enjoyed it too.
Yeah.
And their meatloaf is fantastic.
So we differ here as well, but not completely. Like, I do think it's fun. Like, the servers doing that's fun. And, like, the look of it's fun. I just don't personally care for the food as much. But I think just in general, like, it's a nicer meal. Like, it's an actual, like, dinner type meal. Like, meatloaf, mashed potatoes, green beans. Whereas sci-fi is, like, burgers and shakes. And so that's just more fun than the fancier food. Yeah. So that's my difference on that. My favorite ride, man, it's like top 3 at least over all the parks, is the Slinky Dog Dash. Oh, it's my favorite. It's in Toy Story Land, and you are riding in Slinky Dog. I don't know. It just shocked me the first time. It was so much fun.
It was like so fun.
It's faster than I thought. Like, it's more of a thrill ride than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
But not enough to scare me and I'm a chicken on roller coasters.
Yeah.
So, like, it was the perfect amount for me.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite ride there.
Me, on the other hand, I want top thrilled, top scary. So Tower of Terror is where it's at. That was my favorite ride. Tower of Terror is a top 5 ride for me across every theme park that I've ever been to ever.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So I really enjoy Tower of Terror. It's a little spooky.
Yeah.
It's got good stories. The line is kind of interactive.
Mm-hmm.
And then the ride itself is you drop and go up and down, and
Yeah.
it's scary. You never know the pattern that you're going to go with, because there's a couple different patterns. I think there's 13 different ones.
Wow.
So you never know what pattern you're going to get. So it's a surprise every time.
But I read that when it first opened, it was just one drop.
It was.
Isn't that crazy? Things to do. So we've broken this down into the 8 different areas or lands within the park. And we're just going to tell you a little bit about each spot. So starting with Hollywood Boulevard.
So Hollywood Boulevard, that's when you first get into the gates. You can see all the way down to the Chinese Theater looking building, which now holds Mickey's Runaway Railway.
Yes.
It's a trackless ride, and it goes through a cartoon universe of Mickey and Minnie.
It's so fun.
It's so sweet. I love it as an adult. My child loves it.
I bet.
She will listen to the songs. She'll watch the point of view videos on YouTube still. Loves that ride. And it follows Mickey and Minnie on a picnic.
It's so cute.
And so, of course, things go wrong. The railway runs away. There's all kinds of fun stuff in Mickey's Runaway Railway. Also along Hollywood Boulevard is a ton of shopping. That's where most of your gifts and your souvenirs are going to come from. There is the Trolley Car Cafe. Never been. Is that where the coffee is?
I don't think so.
Don't think so? Okay, just kidding. And then there's the Hollywood Brown Derby restaurant. I have not ate there because it sounds really fancy.
I've not eaten there either.
From what I can remember, there's kind of your dining room seating and then your lounge type seating.
Yeah.
So you can choose whether you go in and have a full sit down, or if you just pop in, grab a bite to eat, and leave.
I do think a lot of people enjoy it.
It's on my list of things I want to do eventually.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. The next stop we are going to talk about is Echo Lake area. And that is where you're going to find my favorite show in Hollywood Studios, and probably one of my favorite shows across the parks. And that's the Indiana Jones show. So that is a 30-minute show that is just action-packed.
For real.
It is so much fun. There's flames. There's just
a 400-pound boulder.
440-pound boulder. Woo!
Yeah.
It is just so good. There's a lot of seating there. It's shaded. So that's
They've
nice.
got fans in there. It's a good place to sit and cool down in the middle of the heat day.
Yep.
And it's not just a reenactment of the movie.
No.
So it starts out, you see the boulder, you see Indiana Jones doing things. But then they call scene.
Yeah.
And you get to see like the background people.
Yeah, like you're on set.
Yeah, it's pretty much
of
like
Indiana Jones. Yeah,
absolutely.
You're on the set of Indiana Jones.
You're on the set. So they do demonstrations for how to hit someone, how to kick someone. They flip a car over. They have audience participation. It's really fun.
Yeah, really fun. I feel like it's a must do for everyone, truly.
If it's raining, they won't do the whole show.
Good to know.
They might not start the show. They'd started it. We've done it one time. We were mid-show, and they ended up having to stop it because of the rain. So part of the scenes are under the big canopy, and then about halfway through, they move the set, and then there's another scene behind it that's out in the open.
Yeah, but so definitely be mindful for like small children though, because there are some really loud.
Yeah, there's
moments,
fire, there's explosions.
So you know your kid best. Also in this area is the Vacation Fun animated short with Mickey and Minnie. And Blake and I actually did this last time we went. This is another great little break because it's inside, so place to escape the heat. And it was a fun little break. Like, it didn't last very long. It was a short with Mickey and Minnie, and it was cute.
I've never done it.
Yeah, I would do it again. It was really cute. Also in this area, you can meet Olaf, and the Frozen sing-along show is in this area, which I have not done yet, but you have.
The Frozen sing-along it's exactly that. It kind of takes you through the movie, but it's done with actors on stage, and it's shockingly hilarious. Like, it's just funny. They make it so fun. It's more than just reenacting the movie. And of course, it's not an hour and a half. But it's really fun for adults and kids as well.
Nice. You can also find 50s Primetime Diner that she was talking about here in Hollywood and Vine. I've not had the chance to eat at Hollywood and Vine yet. And then you can also find Star Tours here, which I will let you talk about because I've not done that yet.
Yeah, so Star Tours, that's one that has a height requirement. It is the OG Star Wars ride at Disney. So this is not in the Star Wars area. It's close, but not quite. You get in line and you get to see robots and CP3Os and R2D2s, and it's old though. It's like your 1960s, 70s old looking. The original 3 Star Wars movies. That's what it reminds me of.
Okay.
So you get in a vehicle, and it's kind of like stadium seating. So it's been a long time since I've rode it. There's maybe 8 people per row, and there's 8 or 10 rows. And the whole mechanism, it's closed in, and the screen in front of you, what you see changes frequently. So they've updated the scenarios. So you might see Rey, or you might see original Luke Skywalker from the movies. So it shifts back and forth between some of those. So you can ride it multiple times and see different ones each time. But the whole mechanism lifts up, and it's like a motion ride. So it makes Tyler, my husband, extremely motion sick.
Really?
Absolutely. He won't ride it. That's why I've not rode it in a long time.
Yeah.
Because the last time he rode it, stuck his head between his legs, heavy breath, trying not to lose his lunch.
Okay.
Situation.
I like motion rides. I might have to try that.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I've never watched Star Wars, so a lot of those rides I just don't understand them. So, but I still need to try that. Yeah, I would like to.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Would you like to talk about Grand Avenue?
Sure. Grand Avenue is not somewhere I spend a lot of time.
Neat.
Muppet Vision 3D is there. Again, it's another show about the Muppets. It's cute. If you like the Muppets, it's all indoors. Right. So it's another good place to go and cool down. And then there's 2 different restaurants there. One is Mama Melrose's, and the other one is Pizza Rizzo. So some Italian on that Grand Avenue.
And it's kind of tucked away back there.
It's tucked away.
You really have to work to find it, I feel like.
Yeah, if you are rushing to get from the beginning of the park to Star Wars area, you're going to fly right past it and never see it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I did that a couple times.
Yep.
For sure. Okay, Commissary Lane. We've just got a few things here. That's where you're going to find Sci-Fi Diner, which is my fave. The ABC Commissary. Have you eaten there?
I have eaten there a couple times.
I've heard it's good.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Okay.
It's not my favorite. But again, Hollywood Studios food just isn't my favorite. When I'm there, I want to eat a turkey leg. And a candy apple. That's my Hollywood Studios food.
Oh, okay.
So, the ABC Commissary, it is, like a sit down.
Yeah. Yeah.
You walk up, order your food, go find a table, sit down, eat it, and leave.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of good options of food to choose there. I think I had a salmon rice bowl or something. Okay. So they have that, and they have your chicken tenders and your burgers.
Yeah. You can also meet Mickey and Minnie here, and I think that's a cute place to meet Mickey and Minnie.
I have not met them there.
I haven't met them, but I've just seen pictures there, and I think that's a nice spot to meet them. Yeah.
Yep. That is also an area that you can easily miss if you're in the park as well.
Yeah.
Then we have, kind of on the other side where these are, is the animation courtyard. there you have the Disney Junior Play and Dance, and you have the Star Wars Launch Bay. I have not done either of those two things.
I haven't either. So that'll have to be on our list.
It'll have to go on the list. Yep.
Then you have Sunset Boulevard, and this is going to be a big place to go and visit. So I think we'll kind of break it up here. Lots of shopping and dining. This is where you will go to watch Fantasmic, which is their fireworks show. It's so good. I definitely think it should not be missed. I've only got to see it one time, though.
I have seen
with
it.
you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it should not be missed. It's
I've
wonderful.
seen it multiple times. It's recently undergone an upgrade.
Oh, okay.
I've not seen the new one yet.
Okay.
But it's a huge stadium.
Mm-hmm.
When you're looking down at it, there's a huge like rock structure.
Oh, okay.
Thing.
It's on the water.
And it's surrounded by a moat of water.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's similar to Fantasia, but not. So there's Sorcerer Mickey is there. There's Giant Dragon. There's ferry boats with princesses on them. And then water shows where they project onto the water. It's Fantasmic.
10 out of 10.
Absolutely.
Just a side note for that, it is a very steep walk. So just something to take note of.
Yes.
I feel like I saw people being pushed in wheelchairs, possibly.
Yes.
So but it's very steep.
There's seating there.
Just to
designated seating.
Yeah.
They have a package where you go get your seats. They do a dining package where they'll bring you food and dessert.
Yeah.
It's their special end of night.
Something else that's in this area is the Beauty and the Beast show that we were talking about earlier. And then I'm going to let you talk about the other three because those are your jam.
So the other three things are Rock and Roller Coaster, Tower of Terror, and the Racing Academy. Rock and Roller Coaster, Aerosmith, okay? It's Aerosmith. It goes upside down multiple times. You get in the first thing that happens is you go behind the scenes of a sound booth, and the Aerosmith people are there, and they're practicing for their concert.
Cool.
And then they notice that you're standing there, and they say, well, you should come to the concert too. We'll get you a ride. So then you go into the next line area, and then you get on your little limousine, and it goes 0 to 60 in a few seconds.
Fun.
And then you're off into the darkness of the ride. It's a roller coaster, really loud, sounds like you're going to a concert. Super fun. The second one there is Tower of Terror. You just gotta ride it. Just once to know if you like it.
You do. I hate rides with drops. That's what deters me from a lot of roller coasters. But she talked me into it. She was a great support coach and talked me into riding it. And I will say I enjoyed it. I thought that would be the worst ride ever for me because it's drops the whole time. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. And no, I don't do it every time I go. But would I do it again? Yes, I would. Yeah. I'm not dying to do it, but I would do it again. You should definitely give it a shot. And like she said, the beginning part of it is just adds to it. Just the whole vibe of it's really fun.
Like it's an old hotel. You get to go through the courtyards and stuff during the line. You get to see the lobby.
It's a little spooky.
There's a little pre-show thing that's the Twilight Zone. And then more lines, and then you get in your elevator.
Yeah.
Anytime you get to ride this ride with my husband is a good time because he absolutely hates it. Every picture I have of him on this ride is the exact same picture because he's gripping the side as hard as he can, head tilted back, mouth open, eyes closed, screaming like our 4-year-old that he's gonna die. Every time. It's fantastic. I love it. I love him, but I make him ride it every time because I don't want to ride it by myself. I would ride it by myself if it came down to it. That's how much I love it.
I think that's why I wrote it, because I was like, if Tyler can do it,
If Tyler can do it, Sheree can do it.
We need to share. That's something we need to share, like on our stories or something this week.
All the pictures of Tyler.
The pictures of Tyler. Because it's my favorite picture of him. Also, side note, kind of, I do not ride Rock and Roller Coaster because it goes upside down 3 times, I want to say.
I think it's 3 times. Yeah.
So, that one's out for me.
A little more calm is the Racing Academy. That is another indoor show of sorts. And it is Lightning McQueen. So you go in and it's bench seating. There's an elevated stage in front of you, and it's kind of a game simulator. So the whole thing is that they're going to teach you how to race. And so you can hear Mater, you can hear Chick Hicks, you can hear Sally all talking. The whole screen. It's not like a 360 screen, but maybe half of it, and it's rounded.
Yeah. And
then Lightning, the doors open up and Lightning McQueen is there, and the car moves and rotates, and
fun.
It's really fun. Evie really loves it.
Yeah.
Finley, he liked it too.
Oh, good.
So Evie and Finn, they've both done it. You just sit there and watch the show. It's another good place to entertain your kids in a cool environment.
Yeah. And that's important at Disney.
Oh, yeah, because it's hot there most of the time.
It is. And you need breaks throughout the day for that.
Yep. Okay. All right. The next land is Toy Story Land, and I think that is Sheree's favorite.
Yes, it is.
So I'm going to let her do that one.
I love Toy Story, the movies, all of them, and I love Toy Story Land. And truthfully, that's what brings me back to Hollywood Studios is Toy Story Land. So my favorite ride is there, Slinky Dog Dash, that I talked about earlier. Toy Story Mania is also there, and that's another great ride. That ride you ride through and you like pull the little trigger on your little...
It's like a little... Yeah.
No.
It's like a cannon. It looks like a little cannon.
Yeah.
And you're string on it.
Yeah, and you're trying to hit the targets. And so you're with your other person in your cart.
Yep.
And it's a competition to see who gets the highest score. And it's just a lot of fun.
And it's 3D.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
It's 3D.
Yeah. So much fun. Very similar to
Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah. Space. What's it called?
Space Ranger Spin.
Yeah. Okay. So very similar to that.
And on that one, when Finn was a baby and when Edie was a baby, I had their carrier on and I just sat down in the thing. I didn't have to take them out. I didn't have to baby swap any of that. They can just stay in the carrier and you can ride that one.
That's good to know. Alien Swirling Saucers is also a ride for littles. Evie loves it. And she's so cute on it. She puts her little hands there.
Yeah. She had a whole alien wardrobe for a long time.
So that one's a lot of fun for the littles. As an adult, I did try it, but I wouldn't say that I would ride it. And again, it's not super fun.
And the line for that is up to 60 minutes sometimes. I would not.
Absolutely not. Now, I will say Toy Story, Slinky Dog Dash has gotten
Slinky Dog is a very long one.
So if you're doing Genie Plus, that's definitely one that I would try to snag.
Oh, yeah.
Because I would say it might have the highest wait time in the park. I don't check Rock and Roller Coaster. And I know Tower of Terror is long, too, sometimes.
Those get up to 60 to 90.
I've seen it 2 hours. Slinky Dog.
Yeah.
Recently.
Now, the new Star Wars stuff.
Oh, true. See,
those can be a lot.
Yeah, that's true. So, that is there. And then 2 great places to eat that I love. So I recently went to Rodeo Roundup, and it was so... Roundup Rodeo. I said that wrong. It's so much fun.
That one's new.
It is new,
and so
yes.
I've not got to eat there.
Oh, I love it. It's a barbecue, which I love. It's a family-style meal, so they will refill your food as you go. There's a lot of meat, a lot of good sides. You get to ride in on a little horse, a little stick horse. Yes, it's so fun. And then it's Toy Story themed. And the point of it is it's like you're the toys. So when Andy comes in, you have to freeze because you're the toys. So that's so much fun. I just love it. Also, they have Andy's Lunchbox, which I love too. It's Andy's.
Andy's?
Yeah, I fixed it back in another one. Yeah.
Heard.
I always call it Woody's Lunchbox, I think.
I think I have too.
It's a quick service area, kind of not completely snack foods. Like they've got grilled cheeses, they've got delicious like cheesy loaded tater tots. They have homemade Pop-Tarts. Pop-Tarts.
Mm-hmm.
So those are so good.
And it's breakfast. They have a breakfast menu and
a
lunch menu.
And they have breakfast tots, which are delicious.
They do have breakfast tots.
So I just love Toy Story Land. If Toy Story Land wasn't there, if I'm being honest, I probably wouldn't go to Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, I can see that for you.
Truthfully.
Yeah.
So I would miss Runaway Railway and Fantasmic. But other than that, I probably would go. So, okay, now here's her part because she is going to know all things Star Wars, which is the next land, and Galaxy's Edge.
Yep. So Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is a new type of land. Mm-hmm. So Toy Story Land, when you go in, you are experiencing each ride. In Galaxy's Edge, you are in Galaxy's Edge. Stormtroopers will come up to you and ask if you know where the rebels are. Chewie and Rey will be hiding around corners and you can play like red light, green light with them.
Cool.
With your kids. There's a phone on your Disney Play app. When you're in the parks, there's a translator app within it. And so like the water fountain is not labeled water fountain. It is in Galaxy Edge speech. So you use your translator app to show you what it's saying.
Very cool.
In the line for Smuggler's Run and for Rise of the Resistance, there's a game that you play where you're trying to find things for the rebellion.
Cool.
So you can help find where the ammunition is, or you find where the weapons are. And it's all done on your phone. So it's really, if cool. You are a Star Wars fan at all, you're going to love Galaxy's Edge. So there are 2 main rides there, Rise of the Resistance and Smuggler's Run. Rise of the Resistance is one of the coolest rides I've ever done. So stand in line forever.
Enter the queue. You have to enter the queue.
You have to enter a virtual
for
queue.
that ride. So at 7 a.m. that opens up.
Yep.
And you have to click in and then that'll tell you when to be there.
Yep. So when you get there, you don't just walk up and ride it. Mm-hmm. You enter the queue. You enter the line at that time. So you're in the line and then there's a pre-show and a pre-show, and the line itself is so interesting that we got halfway through and my cousin said, "Was that not the ride?" And we're like, "No, we've not rode the ride yet."
Cool.
So it's really cool. And that one is based on the newest movies. So it has Rey in it. Finn is in it. And it's really cool.
How long would you say that experience is? Because it sounds like more of an experience than a ride.
It truly is.
But it sounds like it might take a little bit. So how long does that
say
last?
Once you get through the line to the first pre-show, that little show is maybe 5 minutes.
Okay.
And then you go into the pre-show. And that's another 5 minutes.
Okay.
And then you get back in line 5-10 minutes. And then you're sorted into your prison wards. And then you get into your jail cell. And you're there for another 3 minutes. And then you get on the run.
Okay.
So it's a 30-minute process for the whole thing.
And that's not including the line that you're
not including the line.
Even though it tells you when to come back.
Yeah.
That's still not including that. So if that's something you want to ride, make sure that you've used the bathroom.
Yes.
That you gotta, and just that you're ready to spend that amount of time.
Yeah.
Don't have any other genie times or things like that.
It's a long haul.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely worth it. Everyone that has rode this ride that I've heard from absolutely loved it.
I do want to try it at some point.
And then there's Smuggler's Run. That one is you're smuggling goods from one place to the other.
And it's fun.
It's
I've been
fun.
on that one.
The best part of it is that the ship you're riding on, the ship that you are driving, is the Millennium Falcon. Okay. You walk up to this area and the Millennium Falcon is just there in all of its beautiful glory. You can take pictures in front of it. There's PhotoPass people there to take your picture because it's the Millennium Falcon. You get in line for that one. The cool thing with this ride is that you're in charge of your ride.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 6 seats. I put up 4 fingers. There's 6 seats. So there's 2 pilots, there's 2 engineers, and there's 2
I thought it was just
gunners. Nope, there's 6. So if you're the pilot, you get to drive the Millennium Falcon. So the right side is in charge of up and down, I think, and then the left side is in charge of right and left. If you're a really good driver, you get more chances to shoot the things that are attacking you. So that means you need a really good gunner that can hit the buttons at the right time to blow them up. And then if something happens, you have the engineer that has to hit all the buttons to do all the repairs. At the end of the route, it's literally a video game with your 5 closest friends to see how far you can get. At the end, you get a score. They tell you how much damage it costs. They tell you all kinds of things. But it's just really cool. At one point, it says like you get to go into hyperspeed, and it does all the nerdy Star Wars perfect things that you would want it to do.
It's tricky.
And it's hard.
It is. So although I've never watched Star Wars, I did go into Galaxy's Edge area and ride Smuggler's Run this past November. It was like a 5-minute wait, and so we just went ahead and went on it. Even though I don't like or haven't watched Star Wars, it was still really cool. The area, even though I know nothing about it, is beautiful. Like it's like Pandora. Like it's just beautiful. Just really cool. And then Smuggler's Run was fun, even though I didn't know anything about the movie. So I definitely recommend still riding it. And it was tough. And Abby and I got put in the pilot seats. And I felt bad for our friends sitting behind us because it was tricky.
It is
really
hard.
like
it's tricky,
but it's so much fun, and like it's a motion ride, so like you're like moving around, it's shaking you. It's fun.
It really is. So in Galaxy's Edge, there's also a bunch of shopping. You can build your own lightsaber there. You can build your own droid there. Then you can buy all the little critters and all of the stuffed animals and all the things that you expect to find in a souvenir shop are going to be there. And then they have Oga's Cantina. So you have to get a reservation for Oga's Cantina, and it's pretty much a bar. They do have alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks, and then they have bar food like nachos. But it's all Star Wars themed. Some of the drinks, they're all special in some type of way, whether it's a cotton candy topped drink and they pour the liquid over it so it disappears, or the bubble filled with smoke and it pops. And so it's all really interesting drinks. I've never personally gone in.
No, I don't either.
I've had the last 3 times probably. I've gotten reservations and then ended up canceling them all 3 times.
Oh, that's so because those are hard to get.
Yeah, and I just haven't done it either because I'm hungry and I want more than a nacho, or we have something more important to us to go see. Yeah. So we ended up canceling it.
Right. Okay. So those are all of the lands, and really, I feel like we did a pretty good job covering.
Yeah, that was pretty thorough
and in depth. Yeah, I really think
there's
so.
all the tips and tricks, like Smuggler's Run. There's a secret game that you can get into, and it's Chewbacca is your announcer thing. But like when you get in there, you have to hit certain buttons in a certain pattern before a certain time, and then you unlock it. So there's a lot of hidden things throughout.
That's cool.
Yeah,
cool. Okay, so we, like she said in the beginning, we went together in 2019 and 2021. So we've been there together twice and then many times on our own as well. We ate at 50's Primetime together and had a Pop-Tart at Andy's Lunchbox. That's when she talked me into writing Tower of Terror, which was so much fun. And we just had a moment together.
We did.
At the Hollywood Studios.
And 2019, that would have been our first trip together.
Yeah. We invited ourselves. You said we were at a baby shower and she said, we're going to Disney. And
no, we weren't going to Disney. We were thinking about going
we were
to
talking
Disney.
about Halloween costumes.
We were talking about
Mhm.
Halloween costumes. Evie was almost 4 months old. We were talking about Halloween costumes, and we got to talking about Disney's Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Magic Kingdom. And I said, we should just go to Disney. And so
I thought we invited ourselves.
we did.
And we'd only been once, and that was the year before in 2018.
Mhm.
That was our first trip.
Tyler and I had been
So we made it
together
happen.
multiple times at that point.
Yeah.
But that was Evie's first trip. She was 4 months old. Surprisingly easy.
Very easy. And as someone who does not have kids, it was a little terrifying to think we were taking such a small baby. And she did great.
She liked it.
It was really good. So I feel like there's not an age limit. Like when you
Really?
think, oh, I need to wait until they're 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever is numbers in your mind, like I dare you to not think about that number and just go anyways because it was so much fun.
It was so fun. And at 4 months old, I mean, she enjoyed the lights. She enjoyed the Pirates of the Caribbean ride that's at Magic Kingdom. Things that don't have a height restriction on them. Yeah. Literally, she can ride it at 4 months old. So on that Pirates of the Caribbean, there's a little tiny dip, and she went, and that's my first memory. So will she ever remember that? No. Am I going to remember that moment of joy for the rest of my life? Absolutely. So just because they're not going to remember it doesn't mean that you're not going to remember the face. Like, you're not going to forget the first time they see Mickey.
Yeah.
Or the first time they see the fireworks. Or the first time they get to ride their roller coaster.
Yeah.
And it's worth it as a parent for sure.
It was a lot of fun. And she was Cruella and we were the dogs, the Dalmatians. And she looked so cute.
She was so cute.
Oh, so cute. So I don't know how we got off on that, but anyway.
Either. Because we had a moment at Slinky Dog.
We did. And it was just such a good ride. It was the first time we rode it. And it was just fun. Just genuine fun. And that's what I love about Disney. You forget what's going on in the real world. And you get to be a kid again.
Absolutely.
Like. So.
Yeah.
It's just special.
So we got off on that because I said 2019 was our first trip together. Mm. And when I say that, I really mean that.
Yeah.
That was the first thing that Sheree and I had ever done together. Mm-hmm. Outside of the family barbecue. Mm-hmm. We hadn't really talked or I wouldn't have considered you my friend then, probably. I mean, you're my cousin's wife, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
Like, oh, you're
I
my husband's
not have
cousin.
your phone number at that. Yeah.
I doubt it. So I just realized that. So that was our first like bonding moment.
And we stayed in the room together.
And we slept in the room together. They dealt with a 4-year-old baby crying through the night.
4 months
breastfed. What did I say?
4-year-old.
4-year-old. Well, now you have to deal with her now. She's 4 too. But
we just went all in, didn't we?
Went all in.
And I'm glad.
Me too.
We've not stopped since.
For real, haven't. It's been fantastic.
It was so good. You're right.
I know. Are you gonna cry? Because I kind of feel like crying.
But you know, I hate that we wasted that time before that. Anyways,
we're gonna have a moment when this is done. We're
We've
gonna
already hugged before this.
Yeah, it's okay.
So we missed each other.
Okay. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's like
since we've seen each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite park story.
Okay.
Cheyenne.
Just going back to Tower of Terror again. I'm really sorry.
My fault. Go ahead.
The whole premise of Tower of Terror is that you're in an elevator that was struck by lightning, and then the people that were in the elevator become ghosts. So the ride is you on the elevator, and it's going up and down. we rode, as in I was maybe high school, went with a huge group of my mom's family, some of my dad's family, church group. Like, there was, I think, 20 of us that went.
Wow.
It was a whole big thing. So we got in line for Tower of Terror right before midnight, and it had just started raining. By the time we got on the ride, it was midnight, and it was a full-on thunderstorm.
Cool.
So as you're going up and down, you can see outside. So I remember we went up, the doors opened, and we saw lightning in the distance. And we were all like, oh my gosh, we are going to actually be deceased.
Cool.
So that's my favorite Hollywood Studios memory ever.
That's the ultimate Tower of Terror experience.
Ultimate Tower of Terror
You're
experience.
never going to beat that.
Riding it in the dark in a thunderstorm.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Never going to beat it.
Yeah, really cool. My favorite time at Hollywood Studios was actually this past time. It was between this and that moment on Slinky Dog, where we ate at the Roundup Rodeo. It was just so much fun. Like, we had a great waiter that made it a lot of fun, and he found out it was my birthday. I didn't tell him. I was just like, but he saw the pin, ended up seeing the pin, and like called it out to everyone. And it was such a fun announcement. I got a little Forky cupcake, and it was just a fun, just a special little dinner. Like, it was so much fun. Abby and I were laughing till we were crying, and it was just a good memory.
So when you go back, what are you going to do?
I want to watch the Beauty and the Beast show because that's one of my favorite movies, Beauty and the Beast. And
it's not my movie.
And
it's not my favorite.
So I want to watch the show. I don't know why I haven't done that so far, but that's something I want to do when I go back.
I really want to get Evie on Tower of Terror. We went last year, and she's like, yeah, I'm going to do it. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Yeah, I'm going to do it. And then we got there, and she saw it in real life, and she was like, I'm not doing it.
I would love to see that. I think she would enjoy it when she got her on there.
She would enjoy it. She is a roller coaster junkie. She cries when she can't ride a roller coaster. If she can see it and we tell her she's not tall enough, like, full meltdown. So
I'm sure Tyler will be grateful for the time that she can ride with you, and he doesn't.
He doesn't have to. I know.
So
Yep.
So, some park tips, just general park tips when you're visiting Disney. Wear good shoes.
And bring multiple pairs of good shoes.
Yeah, it's a lot of walking. Like 20,000+ steps a day.
Mm-hmm.
Drink a lot of water. I personally think get a magic band. You don't have to. You can use your phone for the same exact things, which would be your park tickets, your genie, your room key. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But truthfully, the battery it takes, digging it in and out of your pocket, purse, whatever, I think the magic band's worth it. You buy it one time, you can use it for all of your trips. So they're typically $35+ but I think it's worth it.
Yeah. Now there's the Magic Band, and then there's the Magic Band Plus.
Yes.
I don't see much benefit in getting the Magic Band Plus.
I agree.
Yet.
Yeah.
So we have a Magic Band. Tyler and I both he has the Jungle Cruise one because that's his favorite. It has The Rock on there. That's going to be his until it falls off.
Yeah.
So, we use them over and over again.
I think it's worth the investment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, of course, we're rope droppers. So that means we're going to get there 45 minutes before it opens. We're going to be in line. We're going to be through the ticketed area, and we're going to be one of the first ones to enter the park.
And I like it like that. You know, it's cooler. That's a perk of that.
Cooler as in weather-wise.
Yes.
And cooler as in less lines.
Yes. Yep.
Less people.
Yep.
Because not everyone is a morning person.
And people with young kids, she doesn't count. Anytime I say any norm with kids, like, she doesn't count. A lot of people with young kids don't get up that early, you know.
Yeah.
So, or they do, but they don't get to the park.
Right.
Yeah.
I say get there 45 minutes early, but there's some mornings where it's like, they've already started letting people in. Because just because it says it opens at 9, they'll start letting you in a little while beforehand.
They do.
The rides won't start until 9, but you'll at least get in line for that ride. You didn't get a genie. pass for.
Yeah.
So you can get in line for something that you otherwise probably wouldn't get to ride. But Hollywood Studios, if you're trying to do a really fast Disney trip, you can do it in a half day.
I agree.
We tend to do Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios in the same day. Sometimes we'll do Epcot and Hollywood Studios, and then we'll do Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios. So it can be a half-day park, especially if you don't like Star Wars.
That's just our opinion, though. You know, I think everyone has their personal opinions on that.
Yeah.
But for the amount of rides and things, I think it could be a half day. And then you can take the Skyliner or the bus to this park. So
you can. Evie's favorite ride is the Skyliner.
It's so much fun. It's really so much fun. And you can take the Skyliner from Art of Animation, Pop Century.
Yep.
I think that's all.
Caribbean.
Oh, yeah.
Because you have to get off at the Caribbean.
Yep.
And then there's another one that takes you there. And I can't think of that one.
I can't either.
But Skyliner takes you.
So that's
if
fun.
you can get one, do it.
Yeah, I agree.
Join us in our private Facebook group so you can share your own trip stories, and visit our blog for even more information about the park we visited today. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another live video turned podcast. Links for all these are located in the description below.
Until next time, we'll see you at the park.